and will evaluate, add value to, and facilitate implementation of various components in USDMA. So with this brief introduction, I would like to request Dr. Joshi to start his presentation.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Manoranjan ji, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. After a long time, I'm back to my subject. This is the earthquake engineering, because since last 5 years, I'm more involved in the project management. So now I'm not taking much time, and I think you have given me the permission to share my presentation. So I will directly go to my presentation, and I request all of you that please mute to yourself while I'm delivering my lectures, and I'm happy to also provide you if you have any queries or any kind of the question. So you can stop me in between also, and at the last also, if you want to some more questions, so I will try to give my opinion or my perception on these kind of the questions. So now first I am going to share my presentation. So I have basically 3 interaction with you, and starting with the some of the basics, and then tomorrow morning I will talk about the earthquake resistant design of the structures, and then after what we are presently doing in the Uttarakhand state in regarding to the basically the hill related hazards like the earthquake and the landslide. So tomorrow evening I will talk some of the managerial kind of the things what we are presently doing in Uttarakhand. So regarding this earthquake engineering, this is a very short time to explain most of the topics, but I would like to give you the some of the insights how we can basically to understand earthquake in very easy manner. So now I'm presenting my window here. So just a minute. I think I'm audible, eh, everyone? Manoranjan ji, I'm
Yes,
audible.
yes, audible. Yes, audible.
Yes, yes. Just a minute, it is not coming. I think it is coming now. Just
yes, it is coming.
I'm trying, just a minute. Because I'm not much. It is coming?
Yes, it is coming.
Okay. So now,
sir,
yes,
sir,
yes.
you can make it full screen in the.
It is not coming. It is not coming full screen. In my screen, it is full. Just a minute. It is not coming. Just a minute.
You can share a window.
Yes, yes. I have shared already, but why it is not coming full?
For this bottom right side, you can click on the slideshow mode.
It is visible. It is visible. You have to make your own setting.
Yes, yes, yes. Just a minute.
Sir, it is visible.
It is coming the full screen? Just a minute.
Please share a window.
Earlier it was visible, sir.
Now it is not in the full window, na?
Now it is visible, sir.
It is now full window, or this is in presentation mode or not?
It is not in presentation mode.
Okay, okay, just a minute. So I'm trying that. Yes. Still, it is not in presentation mode.
No, not in present, but you can carry on. No
So
problem.
you can start, sir. It is visible. You can start. You can click on the slideshow. I think slideshow mode. If you can.
In slide, so I have doing, but in this this Google Meet, there is some issue sometimes. I know. Again, I'm trying just a minute. Okay, let time start because I think it is not coming properly. Can I start now?
Okay, you can start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is the basically I am starting with this earthquake hazard and then going to the little bit touch to the vulnerability of some of basically some of the cities and how in the India we are considering the earthquake vulnerability. So I think everybody is understand that what is the earthquake, and earthquake is nothing but this is the ground shaking and radiated seismic energy caused most commonly by the sudden slip on a fault, volcanic or any sudden stress change in the earth. So what happened when while we are defining this earthquake, this is the ground shaking conditions. So it is due to the some of we can say sometimes it is by the fault, sometimes it is by the some thrust, or maybe sometime by the some of the we can say also the heavy blasting kind of the things if it is occurred. So some shaking can also done and sometimes some energy will be released. But while we are differentiating with the earthquake, so it is most commonly by the sudden slip on a fault, volcano, or any sudden stress change in the earth. So these three conditions are basically very important. And while some earthquake will be happen in the some of the area. So most importantly is the sudden slip. So energy will be released very immediately while this fault and volcanic or any activity will be occur. So this is the most common thing. So what we feel that by when this fault and sudden slip in the some of the we can say the fault line or the some of this thrust line, then there will be the radiated energy. So this energy will be radiate from the from the this epicenter to the whole around. And as far as this seismic energy will pass on, there will be we found that the this is the ground shaking condition. So ground shaking is also depending upon the how big will be the this earthquake. So before going for this understanding with this earthquake, we first I think most of you have also studied in your lower classes that what are the internal structure of the earth. So the internal structure of the earth, you can see that this is the predefined kind of the thing. There is solid inner core, and then after there is a liquid outer core here, and then there are the, we can say the last is the crust. So the crust is basically where we are sitting, and the depth of, or we can say the width of this crust is totally, it is near about, we can, in the sum of the part, it is near about 1 kilometer to 2 kilometer, and some in the sum of the part it will be more than this also. So this kind of the earth structure we have, but beneath is, beneath the earth we found that this is the molten lava. So what happened, because there is an intense pressure inside it, so pressure and temperature, because due to this pressure and temperature there will be some convection kind of the current are always flowing from the internal part to the outer part. And this is a similar kind of the, you can just observe in your daily household also, because everybody in the household, uh, you have tried that in the kitchen, that the milk will be boiled. So when the milk will be boiled, what happened? So there will be some after this heating will be closed, after some time when it will be cold, then you find there will be one layer. This is in the Hindi we can call the malai. So at the top part, so this crust will be formed, and this is due to this molten lava. So this process is continuously going on, and this molten lava is coming out, and then it is goes down after when it is go cold, and when it is hot, then it is come out. So this process is depending upon the which part of the crust it is occurring. If the crust is not very much thick, or we can say that is not very wide, so what happens then, at that places you find that this volcanic activities are the more. But where this crust are crust width, or the, we can say the crust thickness is more, so at that place this molten lava is not erupting directly, but it slowly it will be coolify. And after this cooling, what happened, that this rocks formation and other formation will be started in these places. And this kind of the structure is the whole around this this earth structure. And we can say that due to this moving molten lava, this whole earth crust is also, we can say that it can be also movable. So it can also move, because it is just like we are floating inside this molten lava. So for this, our scientists, and we can say the geologists more precisely. So these geologists, what they have defined, they have defined the theory of the plate tectonics. So the plate tectonics is basically what is. So there are three kind of the plate tectonics activities are occurring whole around this our globe, and one is, this is called the oceanic and oceanic convergence. I hope you are seeing my cursor, na, everyone? Hello, Manoranjan ji. Hello.
Sir, your slides, only the first slide in that title is visible. The title slide is visible.
Oh, sorry. I think there is some problem.
It is not moving now. It has.
Now it has come. Yes.
Okay. I think there is some issue with this. So in the previously, I have shown this earth crust. I think now you understand this. This previously
Yes.
I am showing this thing, and now I am coming in this second slide. Okay. So second slide is this theory of the plate tectonics. So now you are seeing my this cursor also, no?
Yes.
Yes. So you can see that this oceanic and you just give me 1 minute, because I'm trying to that for this is coming for the full screen, because some of you are not able to see this very properly. I don't know why it is not coming. Just a minute. I'm trying to switch my system.
Yes, it is visible. But
Visible?
not seen.
It is visible?
Yes, visible.
Okay, okay.
There might be some problem in the software.
I don't know, but generally. Okay, then I will start here. Yeah, no problem, because it is wasting my time. So this is the oceanic convergence. So when these two oceans are generally they are coming closer. So generally the beneath these rocks structure will be try to in contact with each other, and some stresses will be occur. So you can see here that these kind of the some volcanic eruption can be happen, or we can say some of this thrust line having some broken here. So you most of like your Pacific Ocean or Antarctic Ocean, when this earthquake will be occur. So this is due to this oceanic and oceanic convergence. Another is this oceanic and the continental. So you find most of the places this kind of the oceanic and continental convergence when we have some continent like the Asian continent or the some Pacific continent or the this American continent, and then some ocean will be nearby. So in this type, then you find that these kind of the activities will be occur by the oceanic and continental convergence. Another is the continental and continental convergence. So this is the most visible example is the Himalayas. So you can see the both sides that these continents are there, and one side is our India and another side is our this China, and this is called the Eurasia plate. So these are striking to each other, and the Himalayas in the Himalayas was now basically was created at that time, and now it is also continuously this process is going on, and you find that most of this seismic activity or earthquake activity along this Himalaya region. So because so you can see this is the convergent plate. So convergent plate means while both plates are coming to each side, and they are attacking to they are approaching to each other, and one plate is going to the downward and another is now coming to the upward. So this is called the convergent plate. So both plates are converging to the each other. So these are the some definition by the geologist. Another is that this is the divergent plate. Divergent means these plates are moving moving away from the each other. So because it is not working, otherwise you can see the movement also. You are seeing this movement or not? Hello, Manoranjan ji, movement is visible?
No, it is not visible.
Okay, so I don't know what is why it is not coming. So another is this divergent plate. So divergent means the both are going to the apart from the each other. So these convergent plate and divergent plate, and another is the transform plate. Transform fault means one is both are moving parallelly to the each other, and one is passing to the another for another plate. So this kind of the movement are also observed in the many of the places. So this is called the this is called the transform fault. So these three kind of the formations are generally occurring around the world, and due to this the earthquake activities are generally reported in the most of the regions of the world. So this is the, you can see in the complete, if we see the globe, so you can see that this whole globe is having earthquake kind of the activities occurred, and most of the fault line or the thrust line, you can see these are the some fault line, thrust line. So every fault line and thrust line are passing to the each continental to continental or oceanic continental. So like here, we can see that here is this Australian plate, and here is this our, we can say the Eurasian plate, or this is our Indian plate. So here this is called the rings of fire. So you find the most of this rings of fire means the most of the earthquake activity will be occurring on these rings of fire. So these are the places where these kind of the plate boundaries or the plate tectonics are we have observed. So in the so no part in the world basically you can go, so where these seismic activities are generally not present. Most of the world, these seismic activities you can see are predominant, and the inner side of the any continent we find some inner small earthquake, but while we are approaching towards these boundary side, so in these boundary side the earthquake magnitude are very high, because due to this convergent plate boundaries or the divergent convergent plate boundaries, or these kind of the activities are generally very much powerful in this area. So these when we see the complete globe, so in the complete globe, this earthquake activities will be occurring. And nowadays, scientists are already observing these kind of the activities sitting very far, because now technology are growing very fast. So now, if some earthquake will be happening in the some, like we can say some in this area, so it can also be, we can record it very swiftly or very correctly at the very far from these places. So now these kind of the activities which we have observing regularly, it can be used to prepare the models. So now lots of models are coming regarding this earthquake prediction, also earthquake, we can say the forecasting also. It is not in the public domain, but this forecasting and prediction is now also started in the most of the scientific labs, like the not in we can say in the very supportive manner, but they are doing some research inside it. And this kind of because this information is now coming very regularly. And fortunately, I am the one of the part of this earthquake forecasting and prediction kind of the theories of one of the group in the Russia. And we are also planning to do such kind of the activities in the Indian counterpart, and we are preparing some models for the India. It is not still very much validated, but scientists are working on this forecasting and prediction only due to these kind of the information which are coming from these different plates. So I think after 50 year or 100 year, we are in the position like we are presently very good in monitoring our cyclones and our this weather related or climatic related activities. But in the earthquake, because this is the problem in the earthquake, is that because it is beneath our ground, so we cannot go very inside, we cannot predict the nature of these rocks and these kind of things. But some supportive kind of the theories are nowadays are existing. So by the satellite, by using some satellites also, we can observe the minor to minor deformation, or we can say the minor to minor change on these fault lines. So these kind of the research are nowadays, I am just want to inform you this thing. So these are some of the faults you can see. So this is the normal fault. So normal fault means the extension of the fault. The fault is what is fault and what are these thrust lines. So there is some difference. Fault are generally inside these, we can say these convergent boundaries or the divergent boundaries. So the faults are basically we can say these are the some of the destruction, or we can say the some of the movement of the different parts of the earth. So we see here that this part is moving upward, this part is moving downward. So there will be some extension. So this is called the normal fault. And another is the shortening. This is called the reverse fault. So sometimes what happens, this side is coming up. So this side is coming up. So this is the shortening of our this landmass. So if the shortening of landmass, so it will be occur very immediately. So this is due to this earthquake wave will be created. So these kind of the faults are generally you can found in the many of the places of where these earthquake activities are going on. This is the strike slip. So strike slip means the both are passing to the each other. It is same like the transform plate boundary kind of a thing. And this is the oblique slip. Oblique slip is a three-dimensional motion. Means the this is moving here also, down also, and also sometimes it is up. So these four kind of the faults are generally we have found in these locations where the earthquake activities are predominant. Like in Himalayas, if you see the Himalayas, and if you see in the some of the parts like the where this convergent or transform plate boundaries or these divergent plate boundaries are found. So in these places, under this convergent plate boundaries or the divergent plate boundaries, these different kind of the fault lines are occurred. So most of these fault line, fortunately or unfortunately, we can say now presently I'm in the Uttarakhand, in the northern India part. These fault lines are very much predominant, and most of these fault lines are very much active also. So this area is very much we can say in the like the earthquake prone area, we can say like the complete northeast or the northern India, or we can say the Gujarat side. So these sites are generally this kind of the seismic fault, or we have found these kind of the thrust lines are also present here. So now I am going some of the basic definition, because generally we have not a very much detailed idea about what about the earthquake focus, epicenter. Sometimes we are talking these things, but generally we are sometimes very confused also. So this is the three important terms. One is the fault, another is the focus, and another is the epicenter. So what is the focus? Focus means where this earthquake will be occur. So focus is generally at the depth below the ground. So we can see the depth is below, and this is the focus. The focus is the place where this fault line having some movement. So if the fault line is moving here and there will be some movement here, so then this fault line, so this is the place where this earthquake will be occur. So generally focus will be measured by the depth. So it is only that we can say that the 10-kilometer depth or the 20-kilometer depth or the 100-kilometer depth. So this depth is the measuring of this focus. So while you are reading some of this earthquake, so you have given the different parameters. So you just check that what are the focus. If the depth of focus is less, means this focus is at the upper side of our earth crust. So what happen if it is if the depth is very low, then this earthquake is very powerful. Even if the magnitude is less, then this focus having the more power to destroy the nearby area, because this radiated energy will be transmitted very speedily, and it will be damage our infrastructure very fast. And if the depth is low, then there will be the energy of earthquake is moreover it is very less. But thing is that you can feel these tremors very far, because it is very low. Then what happen that it can go here to here, complete cover the complete area also. But the this deep depth earthquake having not much impact to the most of the structures, but you can find the tremors for the very long. Like suppose if this deep depth focus earthquake will be occurred in the Pakistan side. So, but we can observe these tremors in the Uttarakhand or in the Uttar Pradesh, or even in the sometimes if it is very big, like in the like if sometimes it is big, so it can also feel the other part of the other part of the states also. So like in like most of you, like you are in the southern India. So if some big earthquake in the at the great depth in the Gujarat side can be occurred, so you can feel the Maharashtra, or you can say Madhya Pradesh, or maybe in the Odisha you can also find some of the tremors also. But if the focus is the depth of focus is very low, then what happens? This if suppose the magnitude is less, but the power is very high, and this can be also feel by the most of the people by the nearby. Another important thing is the epicenter. So what is the epicenter? Epicenter is the place, it is just above the ground. So it is always measured as a latitude and longitude. So while we are giving this information, so the three information basically generally coming while we are saying that the earthquake will be occur in the some of the place. So important thing is that what are the epicenter. So first thing is the magnitude, what are the magnitude, then what is the focus, and third is the epicenter. So epicenter means that this is the place where uh, uh, below this earthquake will be occur. So epicenter will generally be the place. Like if I say that in the some of the place in the Maharashtra, so the Maharashtra, if suppose in the Maharashtra, in the one of the place this earthquake will be occur. So this is the epicenter of is in the Maharashtra and the some of the district. Like in the Uttarakhand, if we can say in the Uttarakhand in the some of the place that this is the earthquake at the epicenter is Uttarakhand. Like in the Jammu Kashmir, we can say, and the Jammu is the basically the epicenter of this earthquake. So it is exactly measured at the latitude and the longitude of this earthquake, and focus can be given the depth of this thing, and third thing is the magnitude. So how much powerful is the magnitude? It is how much powerful is the earthquake? It is depending upon the what are the magnitude. And second important thing, the what is the focus basically. So if the focus is low focus earthquake, then power will be more and it will be more damaging also. So what happened when this earthquake will be occur? So while this earthquake will be occur, what happened that two kinds of the waves are generally they are radiating from these from the focus of this earthquake, and this two waves are, one is called the body waves and another is called the surface wave. So these two waves are very much important, and this is the most important part also to understand the behavior of the earthquake also. So also these two body waves and surface wave are also very good thing to make a earthquake early warning system. Presently in the Uttarakhand, we are in the India, we are the only state where this earthquake early warning system in the Uttarakhand. So we have deployed this sensor, and this is only due to this P wave and S wave. So generally, what happens when earthquake will be occur? These body waves are generally arrive first, and the P wave are most. This is the first waves which are directly coming through from the focus. So when these P waves are coming, after the few times this S wave and surface waves are coming coming towards our coming towards our city, or we can say the some of the places. So what happened that this body waves having P waves and S wave, and the surface wave having the relay wave and lab wave. These surface waves are also most dangerous kind of the thing, and this is made by the combination of the this P and S wave. I have very good imagination this thing, but this is not running, so I am not able to show you that how this P wave will be basically propagating. So P wave will be propagating from here to this
Sir,
side.
you can press F5, or at the top there is a slideshow icon is there. From there also you can
No.
you can also do.
I understand, because I am not. I am a tech savvy person. I this is not a big deal, but it is not working today. I don't know why.
Okay,
It is
sir.
coming or not.
No, sir. Okay, sir.
It is not coming because yes. Otherwise, there are some issues. Can I rejoin Manoranjan ji?
Yes, you can. No problem.
I can rejoin. Then I will look after this thing, because these are the some interesting things with me, but I don't know why it is not coming.
बीच में आ रहा है।
It is coming. Hello.
Yes, it is coming.
Full screen? Na?
No.
It is moving or not?
No, not moving. Now it moved.
Sir, if not full screen, you can increase the percentage at the right side. Is also okay.
It is still not moving.
No, it is still. Now it moves.
Just a minute. There is some issue in this software. Otherwise, in my side, it is working properly. I don't know why.
Let us continue as it is.
Yes, yes, yes. Coming, na?
No.
It is not coming.
Yes, now it came.
And full screen not coming.
Not. No.
So it is some issue in your side. I don't know.
Okay, we can continue as it is.
Yes, yes. So now this is the P wave, and in the P wave, my voice is coming, na?
Yes, yes.
So in the P wave, this the movement will be in the this continuously in the from this side to the this side in the we can say like a compressive kind of the movement will be coming. So particle motion, you can see this particle will be moved here, 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 and here. And another is the direction of the propagation for the S wave. It is the particle is moving at like S wave. This is this kind of the this. Well, you have seen that sometimes you in the ponds you see this kind of the movement of these waves. So in the ponds, when you throw some of the stones, the waves are traveling like a S wave, S kind of the thing. And also, while you have seen some string, like so you pull some string in the upward side. So this is the S wave. So these two kinds of the waves are generally this is the primary waves, and these waves are generally predominant at the time of the earthquake. And by the combination of these two waves, this relay wave and love waves are also formed at the time of earthquake. These two waves are very much dangerous because this is the retrograde kind of the motion. The particle is moving here, and this is from the forward side also, upward side also, and also the backward side. So these kind of the motions are also coming, and this is due to the these waves are forming after the combination of these different kind of the P wave and the S wave. When this P wave and S wave are combining, this relay wave and love waves are generally they are found, and these are the very damaging kind of the earthquake. And when they propagate through our structure, so it will damage our structures very largely. And these are and the most important property of these secondary waves are they can travel very long. So suppose if some earthquake will occur at the Himalaya region, or we can say some of at the fault line. So from the far from the fault line also, these kind of the earthquake waves can also make lots of the damage. Like in the Bhuj earthquake, I think you must have most of you have noticed there that in the Ahmedabad city, most of our structures have been damaged. This is due to this surface wave only, because Bhuj is the Ahmedabad is near about 200 miles from the Bhuj, and being a very far from the Bhuj, Ahmedabad has also equally affected, and the most of the high-rise building have been totally collapsed, and they have been also damaged at the time of this Bhuj earthquake. So this is due to this surface wave. So the important property of the surface waves. Tomorrow I will also deliver you some of the these properties that how this our high-rise structures have been affected by this kind of relay waves, or we can say the surface waves. So because these waves are generally creating the differential settlement in the foundation also, and sometimes some when our structure is not properly cast, or when our structure or column or beams are not properly built, so they can make some differential displacement between these column and beams and the column and foundation. So these waves are the very much damaging. And then the most of the part of the world, while when some big earthquake have been occurred, so these waves are generally having the predominant effect. So this is the one you can say the bad side of these secondary waves like relay wave or love wave or say S wave. But the one positive side is that regarding the research, fundamental research, we have to be prepared that because the P waves are generally moving a very fast rate, like the 5 kilometer per second to the 6 kilometer per second our speed they are basically. But they are coming very early. So when these waves are coming very early, so we can detect these earthquake at the initiation of this any of the earthquake, and then we can make a device that when this P wave will be captured by our some of these seismic sensors, so we can give the alarm to our society or our these people, so that they can also make a such arrangement that they can move from their structures, or they can go they can make their family or their self safe inside the house also. So these earthquake early warning systems are nowadays totally depending upon this concept, the P and S wave difference. And most of the countries, which are we can say the earthquake prone countries and highly developed, like the Japan, Taiwan, Mexico, and USA, and now in the China also, many of these seismic sensors has been deployed, and also the alarm system are also working in the most of the big infrastructure, you can say the railway lines or the high-rise buildings, the offices. In Uttarakhand also, we have near about 400 such kind of the arrangements have been made in the different office building or the school buildings, and many of our these important structures here. And also we have developed one mobile app, and it is working in the Uttarakhand only. Unfortunately, it is not for the other part, because the range of our this complete network is around our up to the Delhi. So up to the Delhi, because this region we have covered by these sensors which we have deployed in the Himalayas. So this kind of the important part of the research part, we can say, or we can say the positive part of these waves are that we can make some lead time, and we have some lead time to prepare our society also for regarding such kind of the if any earthquake will be happen in this area. So now another important thing is the earthquake size. So generally while we are discussing the earthquake, so two things generally we talk and generally we are confused. So what is that two things are? One is the intensity of the earthquake, and another is the magnitude of the earthquake. So both things are very much important also, but they are also differ to each other. Intensity of the earthquake is a subjective parameter. Subjective means it will be the assessment of the visible effect. So when some earthquake will be occur, so there are certain parameters which are already fixed by our BIS code, or the scientists, they have already fixed these kind of the things, and our team will be go there, and then they can assess what are the damages, different kind of the damages, what people have been feel, and what kind of the damages they have seen at the time of near the epicenter, from the far from the epicenter, then decide this intensity. But what is the magnitude? So magnitude is basically that we can detect only by the instrumentally. Instrument means the Richter scale magnitude, or we can say that is some other advanced equipment nowadays which can also detect the surface waves, also the body waves also. So this is the instrumentation kind of the thing. Unfortunately, this earthquake magnitude are for the last the earthquake magnitude before 100 years back, we have no idea about that what magnitude has been occurred. It is only by our imagination or some of the literatures we have found in the different books or the different magazines, or we can say the different our epics also, like in the Mahabharata or in the Ramayana, or in the some of like some ancient kind of the Hindu granths also, and the some of our during this Mughal Kals also, and then this Babar Nama and these. So they have given this kind of the information that जल जला एक वहां पे आया था दिल्ली में तो वहां ऐसा हुआ था. This kind of the information they have already given. So by assessing these kind of the thing, we have defined the this kind of the intensity of these earthquake. But magnitude is only instrumentally can be recorded the earthquake after 1934. In the 1934, the Richter is one of the scientists, and the Richter has developed this instrument, and this is called the Richter scale magnitude. And then instrumentally we have that. So if you go for the actual instrumental data, so unfortunately only we have this not even not a 100-year data we have presently for the earthquake catalog. So this is the most we can say the negative part of that. We are not very much fantastic to analyzing the earthquake kind of the things, and still now we are also in the position that we cannot predict any kind of the earthquake or forecast any kind of earthquake because we have very less data. So after 1934, only 4, 5, 6 instrument has been, I think, maybe deployed. In India, this instrumentation was started after this Department of Earthquake Engineering in IIT Roorkee was at that time, this is the University of Roorkee, and this 1960, near about 1960, this department has been initiated as one of the center, and 1964, the first seismograph has been deployed by the department. So after 1964, some of these instrumentation slowly it will be progressed. Nowadays, we have a sufficient amount of the seismograph in many of the parts of the India. But this is the data only, we can say the complete data set if you are looking for the complete data set. So this is not more than 10 or 20-year data set we have presently in the for this for any kind of the research or any kind of the, we can say, for making any models, or we can say any forecasting or any kind of the prediction kind of the things. So this is the sum of the part. So two types we can basically describing the earthquake. This is the one is intensity and another is the magnitude, and both are the different things. So like if you see that what are the intensity and what are the magnitude. So intensity is basically given in our BIS code as the modified Marcelli scale. This is called the MMI scale. So this is the one complete chart is given. So like, and intensity is generally referred by the Roman numbers. So 1 to the 12. So 1, it is started from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it is coming to the 12. So 1 means the insignificant, and then very light, then moderate, and there are some description also. Only the selected detected by the instrument. So that if we are in the like now we have lots of equations are presently available. So we are near about that magnitude is 1 to 1.9. So it will generally not observed by any human being or any animal. So like the very light that it is felt by the sensitive people, and the some of like the animals are also detecting these kind of the things. So 2 to 2.3 also. So these kind of the things are given. And if we are going from the after intensity level 7, so it is very strong. So very strong means that you can see some of the damages also, some of the structures you can find some of the damages also, some unreinforced masonry having the totally damage also. So after 7, the damaging effect has been observed. So it will be the near about 6 magnitude earthquake. So when the near about 6 magnitude earthquake will be occur, so you have seen this kind of the information. Then this modified this MMI scale we can define that intensity very properly. Some other scales are also very much popular in the other part of the world also, but in India, generally, we are using this MMI scale. In the Japan, we have some scale. They have some developed their own scale. In the European, they have some another scale. USA has some another scale. So these are the some scales are there, which are basically the very subjective kind of the thing. This is the qualitative kind of the thing, not a very quantitative kind of the approach is there. Another is the magnitude. So while we are assessing the magnitude, I already told you that it is detected by our generally by our sensors or our seismographs are the most of the important part is the seismograph which can be record these kind of the earthquake. And with the higher range of the magnitude, we have also the accelerometer where we can measure the acceleration of any of the event. So these are some of the scales you can see. This is the local body wave, surface wave, and some moment magnitude are also we have devised. So the magnitude scale is generally, this is the very quantitative manner. Quantitative means this is the exact manner. So, and it is measured as a proper number, numericals, basically 6.8, 5.0, 5.2, 5.3. So this kind of the things generally measured by the magnitude. And when intensity is talking, so intensity is generally based by the, this is the qualitative measure. So I think you have some of the lectures on the, in the morning, I have seen your this profile that the Vulnerability Atlas of India. So in the Vulnerability Atlas of, it was prepared based on the qualitative measure, not by this quantitative measure. It is not by the magnitude. It is by the qualitatively that the intensity of this earthquake, that if intensity is such and such, then this kind of the hazard is there. That's how much our infrastructure will be affected and how much will be our having damages can be, we can see. So these two parameters are very important. And this is the earthquake records. So you can see the earthquake records is there. So this is the one of the earthquake record of the Uttarkasi earthquake. So you can see that these waves are generally you have seen. So when some earthquake will be occur, so this sharp, you can say the rise. So it is coming very, very, we can say the line is very, very steady kind of the line is here. And here it is sharp rise. So it means this P wave will be arise. And then this, here is some S wave can be also start occurring here. So this kind of the information is coming by the different instruments. And these instruments are, this is called the seismograph. And previously it was mechanically devised. Now it is electronically, it will be devised in the most of the part of the world nowadays. So we can record these kind of the things by using some of our electronic kind of the instrumentation. And then these earthquake records are very useful while we are making some of our codes also, codal provisions also, and while we are analyzing some of the big earthquakes. So these records are very much useful. So one important thing I would like to discuss here, this is the magnitude, ground motion, and the energy. So this is the most important thing, that if the magnitude change is 1, so the ground displacement is the 10 time. Means if suppose earthquake occur at the magnitude of the 6, so what is the difference between the 6 and 7 magnitude of the earthquake? So the 6 and 7 magnitude earthquake means that ground displacement is the 10 times. Means previously when this is 5 to 6, this is the 10 times. And if it is 5 to 7 magnitude, so it is the 10 into 2, it is the 20 times. But in the same time, when we are seeing this energy, this is the 32 time, because this magnitude is generally measured in the logarithmic scale. When it is in the logarithmic scale, so it is coming the 10 to the power some 10 to the power 10 to the power 10, such kind of the things. So this is the 32 times. So energy will be changed automatically by the 32 fold. Means it is a very high energy. So if the 5 magnitude will be occur and the 6 magnitude will be occur, the energy change will be 32 times. The 6 magnitude earthquake will 32 times more powerful than the 5 magnitude earthquake. So now you understand how powerful is the earthquake depending upon this the magnitude scale. So if I'm saying that the 8 magnitude earthquake in respect to the 5 Richter magnitude, so 5 to 8 there will be the change of the 3 times. It's a 10 into 3, 30 times of the ground displacement. But the energy change will be the 32 into 32 into the 32, means the 10,000 times more powerful. So this is the only reason that while we are saying that if 7 magnitude earthquake will be occur or 8 magnitude will be occur, so this is the big kind of the earthquake. And like most of the, like you who are attending this seminar, maybe you are from the near coastal areas. So when this earthquake is happening inside the sea, inside the ocean, so then this more than 7.5 Richter scale magnitude is also create the tsunami also, because due to this energy change, because this huge amount of the energy has been released by these kind of the earthquake, will be released by the earthquake, and this 32 times more from the previous scale will be, the energy level is very high. So if some 5 magnitude earthquakes, there is no issue. But if 6 magnitude, yes, now the energy will be very more. This is a 32 times. And if the 7, then 32 into 32 means the 1,000 times, it is near about 900 times more energy will be now dissipated. And when it is more than 7, then it is more powerful then. So magnitude is a very important parameter to analyze the ground motion and also the energy of any of the earthquake. And this is the only the classification. If suppose you have given that you want to sitting in India and you want to analyze that if some earthquake in America or in the some of the other part of the world, so you only see the magnitude, because the magnitude if it's very high, then only it will be reported. Otherwise, it will be not reported, because small earthquakes are coming regularly, and this small earthquake having not a much problem for our day-to-day life. But if the magnitude scale will be changed by the only the one scale, so it will be drastically change our this damage pattern also and our losses also. So this is the picture of I just want to share here that this is the India, and 71 million year ago what happened, because the India is a seismically active country, because I think more than 60% of our area are the seismic prone area. Most of the northern part and some of the part of the south also, like in the Maharashtra part and the Gujarat and some of the part of the Odisha also, maybe some of the part of the Odisha maybe in the zone 3 and zone in the some of the part of the Bihar is zone 4 also. So this is the India map, which 71 million year ago, it is very far. It is near about, we can say the near about, but in the like Australia. So presently the Australia, where the Australia is there, at that time the India is there. So India is now moving from here to here, and it is now stuck here at the Eurasian plate. So this, due to this Eurasian stucking in the Eurasian plate, this whole Himalayas was built. So if you have some of you have interest on this subject, so you come here and then you visit to the Himalaya site. So you then found that the how these Himalayas has been formed. You find the rocks are very fractured kind of the rocks are. You have observed also the rock mass is very very loose, and also the loose kind of the sediments are coming up and up. So these kind of the things you have you can be observing while you are going to the Himalayas. And in the higher Himalayas, you find the some of the fossils also, fossils of the sea fossils. You find the some of the the sea, like the some of the sea creatures. Sea creatures means some fish kind, some large fish prints are also you find in the some of the rocks there. So why it is coming? Because it is coming from here, because the whole ocean is now shifted to here this side, and previously it is called the Tethyan Sea. This is the one name. This is called the Tethyan Sea, and by this Tethyan Sea, this whole our rock mass has been now punched, and this Tethyan Sea is coming up. So this is a very long process in the geologically, because while you are discussing with some of the geologists, I suppose most of you are the civil engineering background side, or maybe some engineering background side. While we are discussing this thing with the geology, so geology is a very long era kind of the subject. Means the 71 million year is nothing for any geologist, but for engineer only the 50 year or 60 year is sufficient. So we are generally not much considering this kind of the thing. But we should be understand that this process is very ongoing kind of the condition. So India plate is now beneath there, and this Tibetan plate is coming up, and every year near about 5 to 7 centimeter we are rising up. So this rising is continuously growing on, and most of the fault line and the thrust line are presently active in the North India, and most active is the MCT. This is called the main central thrust, and this main central thrust are most active at presently. But this is the fortunate that this MCT is in the higher Himalayas, not in the lower Himalaya side. So most of the earthquakes are generally coming at the higher Himalaya side, of the Jammu Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand, or in the northeastern side. But one important for thrust line, this is called the MBT. So this MBT is passing nearby the most of our lower part of the Himalayas. We can see the middle part of the Himalayas, and then the middle part of the Himalayas, most of the urban cities are already situated here. Like the Simla is there, Jammu is there, Dehradun, while I'm the city which I am delivering this lecture, this is also in the MBT also, and in the northeast, in the Bihar side also, in the northeast side, most of the things are basically in the nearby this MBT. So fortunately, this MBT is not active since last, I think, 500 or 600 years ago, 500 or 600 years. But this is the problem with the our developer also, and with the problem with our policy maker, and with our disaster managers and everybody, because This is the concern, because if this fall will be active, then you find that like Indonesia, I think you have observed in the last 10 years before, we found that in the Indonesia, there's some of the big earthquake, because after this big earthquake, Indonesia is now continuously having the big earthquakes are continuously coming, because the one of the thrust line, which was not active previously, but now it is now very much active. And you see that in Indonesia, and you have also observed this tsunami, while this is called the Indian tsunami also in 2004 also. So this is the whole activation of this kind of the thrust line. So presently in the North India, this MBT is not active, but if it is active, then the situation will be very much different, and the most of the infrastructure, I will show you in last of my presentation how it will be built. And it is not the condition of in northern India also, it is the condition of the whole this nation. This is the, we can say, the our South Asian countries having these kind of the issues are already there. So this is the
10
movement of the,
minutes.
yes.
10 minutes.
Okay, I will try to finish it. And this is the movement of the plates. So you can see this is the 5 to 6 centimeter per year it is moving here. And this is the map of the BIS map, and you can see this is the red portion, this is the seismic zone 5, and this is the green, and this is the seismic zone 4. As per BIS code, now we have 2, 3, 4, 5. The one is now totally closed now. So now 2, 3, 4, 5 is the most of the zones. So this is the 3, and you can see there this yellow are the 3 number zones. So I have only picked 2 vulnerability atlas, only this, because this is a huge atlas you can download from the BMPTC website and you can go through it. So it is the Odisha. So you see that this complete region, this is the middle part, and I think in the Sambalpur and this area, and like the Puri is also in the zone 3 also. So zone 3 means the near about 6 magnitude earthquake can be occur anytime if this fault line will be active. And in the similarly, if you go to the north side, so this is the Uttarakhand map, and you see this whole is red. This is the zone 5, and this is the zone 4. So now in the North India, Uttarakhand is zone 4 and completely zone 5. And also similarly, the Jammu Kashmir and Himachal is also the zone 4 and the zone 5 completely. So these are the earthquake effect. You can see this is the earthquake effect complete. This is the complete collapse. So the building is collapsed just like a card. So you can see the if you trace out these cards, so this complete building will be collapsed. So these are the pictures. This is the pounding and the tilting of building. So 2 buildings they are very close. So nowadays it is a very common phenomena that people are making their houses as per their convenience, and nobody want to give his 1 inch of the space to the other. So people are generally very close. They are constructing their houses very close to each other. So this is the problem. This ponding will be occur, and this is the high-rise also apartments. So these are some real pictures I am showing you here. So this is the staircase here. This is the Bhuj earthquake photograph, and you see this complete staircase has been completely collapsed. So tomorrow, while I am discussing the staircases, then I will tell you what are the design problem in these kind of the structures and why these structure will be collapsed. This is the soft story and the weak story. So soft story, weak story means the lowest story. When this lowest story have been casted not properly or having some open kind of the columns, so this is called the soft story. And weak story means that if some of the middle columns having weak, so this is called the weak story. So this kind of the structure damages have been also occurred previously also, and if it is not adhere in the near future, it will be also come. So this is the ground rupture. This is the Gujarat photograph. So this is the liquefaction kind of the thing you can see. This is the slope failure. It is generally occur in the hills. This is the liquefaction. So this is a very good photograph of liquefaction, and this is occur in the Great Niigata earthquake of Japan. So complete this whole structure will be sink. So this is due to the sandy soil. So if you are not taking care of the foundation design, so these kind of the structures can be. So in the liquefaction, the water will be released. Water will be coming from the downward to the upward, and this whole area will be completely sink in this kind of the thing. This is the lifeline structure. So sometimes we are very much not much looking the lifeline structure. Lifeline means which are the important at the time of the any disaster. So you find that many of these our office buildings, school buildings, or the we can say our major of our important infrastructure are not still earthquake resistant. So this is a very important thing. So are we awakened? My some of the question, no, still no. These are the photographs I think I have taken long back, 5 to 10 year back, but this is the condition and still it is growing on. So this is the some of the hills, but you find in the everywhere. If you are any part of India, you find this kind of the complete non we can say the non earthquake resistant design, or we can say the not a good planning kind of the things where so many of the peoples are occupying the space of the others, also occupying the space of the public property also, and they are making such kind of the thing. So it is not the case in only for the northern India or the some of the state. It is the problem of the whole South Asia. And uh, so you can see these kind of the structure they are preparing. So columns, beams, there is nothing. So if you see that this beam is coming here, and now this is the column and beam joint. So it is coming here because he has not found any suitable place to elongate here or any kind of thing. So they have prepared this beam here. So this kind of the infrastructure. So foundation is totally exposed. So if you see this is everybody. So seismic hazard assessment generally it is a very important part while we are assessing this kind of a thing. So two types are the basically methodology. One is the deterministic and another probabilistic. I am not going very detail because this is a huge topic, and these are the some fundamental things behind while we are assessing these kind of the study, the seismic hazard assessment. And if sometimes you want to discuss about this thing, so because this is my close to my heart because I have done my whole research on this seismic hazard and risk assessment. So this is the risk and vulnerability. So this is the important formula. So risk is the hazard, vulnerability into exposure. So you cannot change the hazard. One thing I would like to tell you, you cannot change the hazard. If I am living in this zone 5, so zone 5 is fixed. But what we can do it, we can change the vulnerability and exposure. So vulnerability is in our hand and exposure is in our hand. So what we can do it, we can reduce this our vulnerability and exposure so that risk will be minimized. So hazard you can do it. Like if you are living in the near the cyclone area, so hazard will be fixed. You cannot do it. But what we can do it, you can increase your you can decrease your vulnerability. You can decrease your exposure also. And while doing this vulnerability reduction or the exposure reduction, what you can do it, you can make the capacity of people or the capacity of the structure will be you can enhance so that this this risk will be reduced. So the vulnerability status of India is that as per Ministry of Urban Development that 65% of the land area is vulnerable to the seismic damages. And some of the most intense earthquake, I think most of you have also observed by the news also and anything, but most of the earthquake are occurred in this region also. But fortunately, the fortunate part is that किसी का भी epicenter जो है कि major city में नहीं था. None of having the epicenter. If you feel that if the epicenter is in Delhi, then epicenter is in Ahmedabad, because Ahmedabad is epicenter in Bhuj. After that, such a great extent of the damages we have been observed. If the epicenter is in your Puri, like in Puri, you have in the zone 3 also, and in zone 3, like the 6 magnitude earthquake occur in the some of the part of the Puri also, then I think you find that the most of the damaging kind of the scenario you can observe. So Indian cities are growing at exponential rate. I think in 1991 only the 25% we are only the cities are basically totally they are completely occupied this kind of. But now we are approaching to the 2025. The 50% is now our cities are growing for this kind of the rate. So 50% peoples are migrating from the small cities or the small villages toward the bigger cities or the bigger. So what happening? This is the totally load on the infrastructure, and the infrastructure is totally what they are preparing. So nobody will be doing very proper planning, and we can say the as per the requirement of our seismic safety. So this is one of the picture by our this remote sensing or the satellite images. So you can see the how populated we are, and this is the same picture you can observe in any part of India. So this picture will be always there. So while some big earthquake and this kind of the happen, then this will be very much dangerous. And this is the scenario. So like the zone 3, so you can see these are the zone 3 important cities are there already. And this is the zone 4 and this is the zone 5. So zone 4 and zone 5 are the most damaging, but still in the zone 3 you can see the most of the city. This is the 6 magnitude earthquake can occur in this these kind of the these the Cuttack is there, Bhubaneswar is there, this and Indore is there, Jabalpur is there also. So these some of the we generally we have not idea about that they are earthquake prone cities or not. But if you see our this complete map, then you can find out this thing is already in this. So what happens if the major earthquake hit? So typically majority of the construction in these cities are not earthquake resistant. Thus any earthquake striking in one of these cities would turn into a major disaster. So this is the very, we can say, drastic kind of the picture. So this is only due to the structure. This is not by the earthquake. Earthquake never killed anybody. I told you one thing. And this was taught me by one of the renowned scientists and my teacher, Professor Anand Swarup Arya. He was the one of the we can say the pillar of earthquake in India. And last year he was died. And I was fortunate that I had worked with him, I think 2 to 3 years. So you can see that he always say that earthquake never killed anybody. Only this our infrastructure which are not properly made or not properly constructed. This is the only reason that we are died. So this kind of the picture, I presume that you realize the gravity of this kind of the disaster, and I hope that you can prepare yourself that this hand is not your and your some of your close relatives. Thank you very much. And tomorrow I will start, and I will try that tomorrow my screen will be working very properly. If it is some issue, then I can make my own. I can do it very properly in the Zoom link. So I can make Zoom link and I will share with the Manoranjan ji. I think it will be better that it can be done. Thank you very much. If any question, I will hear.
So participants, you are free to ask if in case of any doubt to Dr. Joshi for clarifications. So let us now going to close this session. And anyway, is there any question?
Sir, good evening, sir. I have a question.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, you were discussing about some app through which we can know about earthquakes, which is being used in Uttarakhand state, I think.
This is app is the basically one of the medium to disseminate the information. Okay, and the basic infrastructure required is the seismic sensors. Okay, you should be required that the seismic sensors should be deployed at the various places of the fault line or the thrust line. In Uttarakhand presently, we have near about 200 sensors which are deployed the MCT. I have told you this main central thrust and main boundary thrust. These two thrusts are basically passing in the Uttarakhand, and these are some of the active thrusts. So we have deployed these sensors, and these sensors are capturing this P wave and the S wave. And by capturing, and we have made this one complete arrangement of the to analyzing this earthquake is one of our server room is here. This is in IIT Roorkee. And IIT Roorkee, with the collaboration of IIT Roorkee, some of the peoples are sitting in IIT Roorkee and they have the server. And the data is directly transmitted to our server, and the server will be then analyzing this thing, how big is this earthquake and how much time we have been remaining. And then this will be disseminated to everybody. So what we have done, we have linked this mobile application with this server. So as soon as this server will be disseminating the information, everybody who has downloaded this mobile application, the beep will be start coming on this mobile application. So this is the one kind of we can say the early warning kind of the arrangement we have done through the mobile application. So this is not only by the mobile application. One important thing I would like to discuss here, that now the world is doing lots of research, and many of the mobile companies are also working on same kind of the phenomena. And I think after some time you will find that some mobile sensors are also in your this mobile. So in this mobile you find some of the sensors. So if it is so, you understand that what are this technology can be transformed with us. So suppose you have this mobile, and this mobile is in your house, so it is working as a sensor. So as soon as it detects some earthquake wave, so it will also communicate it to the other peoples also. The earthquake will be happening. The only thing is that this the earthquake will be start from the epicenter, and then it is disseminated to the all around. This is the thing. So while you are at the epicenter, you cannot do much more. But while you are very far from this epicenter, so you have a sufficient time. Like suppose some earthquake will be happen in the Himalayan region, like in Nainital, or these are some of the hill station. I think you must aware this thing. So if Nainital, Chamoli, or the Kedarnath site, you have must hear that last 2013 there was one big tragedy there. So from Kedarnath to Delhi, the lead time will be near about 60 seconds, 60 seconds to that 80 seconds. So 80 seconds is sufficient in Delhi. So what happened? The sensor will be blow at the Delhi, well, like your mobile will be blow immediately after 2 to 3 seconds. So in the Delhi, the sitting in the Delhi people. So our mobile application, I will show you if the time will be permit tomorrow evening, that how it will be work. So you can see the how much time you have left. So this will be beep will be started, and then mobile will be blinking that you have 10 second more, like you have 15 second more, or you have 5 second more now to reach the earthquake wave towards you. So then you can prepare accordingly. But mobile, this only making this earthquake early warning system not serve our purpose also, because you need the preparedness also. People are not prepared, so your mindset should be also changed. If you go to the Japan, Mexico, so these peoples are already very much trained about this thing. Their children are also trained. So the society is totally, they are transformed to the this kind of the preparedness for the earthquake kind of the earthquake hazard. So like in your Odisha also, because now I am also observing the Odisha side that they have this cyclone kind of they have very good invoice is there, because they have now prepared this cyclone early warning kind of the thing. So now the society will be trained properly, so that they can understand the warning, and then they can save themselves while this kind of the information will be given. I think you understand this thing.
Yes, sir. Like, thank you so much, sir. I have understood. Like, it's a very nice initiative from your
Yes.
part, and
Yes.
like, we are thankful for this, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all participants for your patient hearing. And on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank Dr. Joshi for his beautiful presentation. And also we will be having his another session tomorrow morning. So let us have a goodbye now. And
Yes. Manoranjan ji, can I make a Zoom link and share to you, because it is more easy to make this Zoom presentation, and I have the license version, so I can share with you, and then you can disseminate to everyone in the group, which you are basically these for the participants. So Zoom is easy to me, and everything, because I know because it is very good, effective kind of the virtual medium. Can I
okay,
share?
let us see tomorrow morning. Just we'll log in before 15 minutes before the session, and we can try. If it is not working, then we can go in for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. And I hope that tomorrow evening, if you have questions, you write down your questions. Tomorrow there will be some interruption, because due to this some technology kind of the things hindrance. So you can. I am ready to give you some my experience also. Last 15 to 20 year, I am working on the same field also. So if you have any questions, so I am happy to answer your queries also. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Good night.
Okay. Okay, Namaskar. So participants are requested to access the assignment link, and they have to answer within 10 p.m. Okay, thank you all. Let us conclude.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.